The Wake County Public School System is celebrating two major school anniversaries this year. Ligon Elementary School turns 60 years old, and Washington Elementary is celebrating 90 years. Here to talk with me about the legacy of these two schools are Ligon alum Chuck Davis, who you probably know as founder of the African American Dance Ensemble, and Kathy Knezovic, principal of Washington Elementary. It's great to have both of you here.
Right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So these two schools were the only schools for black students in Raleigh for decades, weren't they?
For decades. And then, you know, afterwards came Lucille Hunter and several others, quite a few years down the road. But Lucille Hunter was running at the same time Washington was, and they both were feeders. Once the Ligon School was built, they became feeders to the school. But I started at Washington. I spent 10 years in Washington School. Beautiful, beautiful years, understanding that now, you know, when I look back, I realize, and I'm really grateful now, we had teachers who were more than teachers. They were completely responsible to and for us as students.
Right.
It would be nothing for you to walk down the hall. We had after-school clubs and so forth, and our teachers would be there. And we were the last two classes, 54 and 55, were the 53 was our last class in Washington, because 54 and 55 we were at Ligon.
Right. And Kathy, why is it so important to make this a public celebration, to make sure that people know about this rich history? Because Washington's very different now.
It is very different, and it has come full circle. It was opened in 1923. The first brick was laid in 1923 to fill the gap between an elementary education and college. There was none. Prior to Washington being built, the students, the African-American students in Raleigh, were served by St. Augustine and Shaw University with a fee that the city was paying. When those programs were shut down from the universities, there was no gateway into the colleges, so that's when a bond was passed and Washington was built, and we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate. There's a rich history, like Brother Chuck said, that we need to celebrate. There's a lot to be proud of, and a lot has been accomplished since 1923. So it's
Washington
90 years.
Is a magnet school now.
Correct.
Do you think, do the students know about this? Do they have any idea about this segregation and how the schools were set up back then?
Well, this Friday we will have a celebration with some of our alumni. We have people from the class of 52 and 53 coming in to talk to the students. So there will be a connection made from the past to the present, and yes, our students are very excited and looking forward to it.
And Chuck, we all know you're a storyteller, so I'm sure that you take every opportunity you have to share these stories about this important history.
As I look back and realize Washington, we had all black teachers. Ligon, we had all black teachers. When I went in to Howard, all of my instructors were black, so I've had that trail right along. And I always say it was quality education. And it was quality education, understanding that our black teachers were not getting paid as much as the other teachers. And there were so many times that we as students would get together and we would speak on the fact that we could not even set foot on the side of town where Broughton was. So we had to compete against them, and many of our books were secondhand. But our teachers knew, and they were there to guide us and to lead us. And this has helped me as I travel on to what now? 5 of the 7 continents? You know, as part of the International Arts and Education Program.
Well, you two both have incredible celebrations coming up. This weekend, Washington School celebration on April 11th at 9:10, and the Ligon celebration is also coming up on April 11th at 7 p.m. in the Ligon Auditorium.
Yes, gotta come.
Thank you both so much for being here.
Right.